This isn't just a vacation, it's a full-blown adventure through one of the oldest civilizations on Earth. Welcome to China, where ancient palaces, misty mountains, neon cities, and floating rivers all collide in one epic journey. From the Great Wall to glowing caves, giant Buddhas to sleepy panda sanctuaries, we're counting down 15 unforgettable places you need to see when visiting China. Let's dive in. Number 1. Beijing. Let's begin where China's heartbeat has echoed for over 800 years. Beijing. This isn't just a capital city, it's a living, breathing time machine. Here, the past isn't locked in a museum. It towers above you, stretches beneath your feet, and whispers from every corner. Step inside the forbidden city, once off-limits to ordinary people for nearly 500 years. Imagine emperors pacing those ancient red corridors, plotting wars or watching the stars, while servants in silence scurried by. Built in 1406, this mind-blowing palace complex has nearly 1,000 buildings, and it's the largest of its kind on Earth. From its yellow-glazed rooftops to its symbolic dragon carvings, every inch of it tells a story of ambition, power, and tradition. Now, just outside the gates, welcome to Tiananmen Square, one of the largest public squares in the world. The contrast here is surreal. Towering government buildings, fluttering red flags, and the mausoleum of Mao Zedong, where China's modern history quite literally lies still. Need a break from history? Easy. Beijing isn't just old. It's futuristic too. Hop into a high-speed subway, grab bubble tea from a neon-lit alley, or dine in a robot-run restaurant. Ready to step beyond the palace gates? Let's follow the footsteps of history to one of mankind's greatest marvels, stretching across mountains and centuries. Number 2. The Great Wall of China. Just an hour and a half from central Beijing lies a place that once held back entire armies, and today it pulls in millions of dreamers. This is the Great Wall of China. Not just a wall, but a spine of stone and history, stretching across 9,000 kilometers of mountains, deserts, and grasslands. And no, despite what you've heard, you can't see it from space with the naked eye. But trust me, standing on it feels just as unreal. The battling section is the most accessible and best preserved part of the wall, and it's the one most visitors experience first. Once you're here, you'll understand why. The stone steps snake upward like a dragon's back, and as you climb, the views get bigger, the air thinner, and the silence deeper. But what really hits you? It's the effort behind every single brick. Construction began in the 5th century BC, and continued for over 2,000 years through multiple dynasties. This wasn't just a barrier, it was a desperate defense, a symbol of unity, and a massive national project built by soldiers, farmers, and even prisoners. You've seen the wall. Now how about a real-life Pandora? What comes next looks like it belongs on another planet. Number 3. Zhangjiajie National Forest Park. If you've ever watched Avatar and dreamed of walking through the floating world of Pandora, guess what? That dream is real. And it's here in Zhangjiajie National Forest Park. Tucked away in Hunan province, this surreal landscape is so magical it inspired James Cameron's design of the Hallelujah Mountains in the movie. The moment you step into Zhangjiajie, your sense of scale gets thrown out the window. Over 3,000 giant sandstone pillars, some taller than 1,000 feet, shoot straight up from the earth like natural skyscrapers. Shrouded in mist, covered in dense greenery, they seem to float, like nature hit pause just before gravity took over. And it's not just about looking. You can walk across the world's longest and highest glass bridge, suspended between two cliffs. Every step is part thrill, part therapy, part OMG, am I really doing this? But beneath all the drama lies silence. The kind of silence that makes your thoughts echo. No matter how many photos you've seen online, nothing prepares you for the peace and power of standing in this ancient forest, from floating peaks to bamboo forests. Get ready to meet China's most adorable locales and the spicy dishes that rule their kingdom. Number 4. Chengdu. If Beijing is China's ancient soul and Shanghai is its futuristic heart, then Chengdu is definitely the warm hug you didn't know you needed. Why? Because it's home to two of the most lovable things on Earth, giant pandas and mouth-numbing Sichuan food. Let's start with the pandas. Chengdu is the best place in the world to see these adorable black and white bears up close and personal. At the Chengdu Research Base, pandas roam freely in lush bamboo forests, nap in the weirdest positions, and eat like it's their full-time job. Watching them is almost meditative. You forget the clock, the world, and just smile. But don't get too relaxed, because Chengdu's other star is way more intense, Sichuan cuisine. Here, food doesn't just taste, it tingles, it zaps. It sets off a peppercorn explosion in your mouth that's oddly addictive. Think fiery hot pots, stir-fried everything, and that unmistakable mala flavor that makes your tongue tingle and your brain go, let's do that again. And it's not just food. Chengdu moves slower than other Chinese megacities. People linger in tea houses, play cards on the sidewalks, and just enjoy life at a different pace. In a country that's always on the move, Chengdu says, take your time. Cute pandas aside. Are you ready to stare into the eyes of an ancient army that's been standing guard for over 2,000 years? Number 5. Xi'an. What if I told you there's a city where over 8,000 life-size soldiers, horses, and chariots have been standing guard for more than 2,000 years, and not one of them is the same? Welcome to Xi'an, once known as Chang'an, the eastern edge of the Silk Road and one of the oldest cities in all of China. Let's start with the Terracotta Army. Discovered by farmers in 1974, these warriors were buried to protect China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, in the afterlife. And here's the twist. Every face is uniquely sculpted, as if the emperor commanded an army of real people to follow him into eternity. You walk through the excavation pits and realize this isn't just an archaeological site, it's a time capsule, frozen in clay and silence. Some warriors are broken, some still perfectly poised, yet they all look ready to march at any moment. But Xi'an doesn't live in the past. Walk along its ancient city wall, one of the few in China still fully intact, or wander into the buzzing Muslim quarter, where the scent of hand-pulled noodles and grilled lamb fills the air. Here, China meets the Middle East in a fusion that's loud, lively, and delicious. From the cradle of the Silk Road to a mountain where clouds float beneath your feet, the views only get more surreal from here. Number 6. Mount Huangshan, Yellow Mountain. Imagine standing on a cliffside path, looking out, and seeing nothing but a sea of clouds. Peaks rise like islands. Ancient pine trees cling to impossible ledges, and everything around you feels like it belongs in a dream. Welcome to Mount Huangshan, or Yellow Mountain, a place so breathtaking it has inspired poets, painters, and emperors for over 1,000 years. This isn't just another scenic mountain, it's a living painting, where mist rolls in like waves, granite spires pierce the sky, and twisted pine trees grow in shapes so dramatic they look sculpted by hand. Huangshan is one of China's most iconic landscapes, even featured in classical ink paintings and more recently inspiring scenes in James Cameron's Avatar. Yes, the floating mountains of Pandora, that's Huangshan. To reach the top, you can take a cable car or challenge yourself with a steep climb up thousands of stone steps carved directly into the mountain. Along the way, you'll find poetic names like Beginning to Believe Peak or Flying Over Rock, and they actually live up to the hype. Once at the summit, time seems to pause. Sunrises here aren't just beautiful, they're spiritual. As the first light hits the clouds and the peaks glow gold, you'll understand why this place is considered one of the most sacred natural wonders in all of China. After misty peaks and ancient stones, it's time to dive into one of the world's most futuristic skylines, where old China meets neon dreams. Number 7. Shanghai. Nowhere in China is the future so close you can almost touch it, and yet the past still whispers in every alley. Welcome to Shanghai, the city of contrast, where glass towers kiss the clouds and centuries-old gardens bloom just blocks away. Let's start at the Bund, Shanghai's famous waterfront. On one side, 1930s European architecture, echoes of the city's colonial past. On the other, the futuristic skyline of Pudong, skyscrapers shaped like bottle openers and rockets, glowing like circuit boards come to life. At night, it all reflects in the river like a dream in motion. And trust us, you'll never forget your first glimpse of it. But just a short stroll away from the neon and noise, you'll enter another world entirely, the Yuyuan Garden, a masterpiece of harmony and tradition. Built in the 16th century during the Ming Dynasty, this classical Chinese garden is a maze of curved bridges, koi ponds, carved pavilions, and dragon-lined rooftops. It's a peaceful oasis where time slows down, and every corner is a postcard. Hungry? You're in the right place. Shanghai's street food scene is legendary. Try the Xiao Longbao, soup-filled dumplings that burst with flavor. Or wander down Nanjing Road, one of the busiest shopping streets in the world. Part mega mall, part fashion runway. Now leave the skyscrapers behind. It's time for a slow cruise through scenery that looks like a Chinese watercolor painting come to life. Number 8. Guilin Li River. If Chinese landscape paintings could come to life, this is where they'd live. Guilin, a small city with a big reputation, is world famous for its surreal limestone peaks, winding rivers, and postcard-perfect views. But it's not just pretty. Guilin is a poem written by nature, and the Li River is its gentle, flowing verse. Drifting down the Li River on a bamboo raft feels like entering another world. Towering karst mountains rise dramatically on both sides, their reflections so clear they seem to touch the sky twice. You'll pass by peaceful villages, grazing water buffalo, and fishermen who still use trained cormorants, a 1,000-year-old tradition that looks like time forgot it. The best way to experience the magic? Take the cruise from Guilin to Yangshuo, a charming town surrounded by more jagged peaks than you can count. Cycling through its rice paddies or catching a sunrise over the hills is something you'll carry with you forever. Even Chinese currency agrees. The 20 yuan banknote features the Li River. Yes, it's that iconic. If the landscapes above ground felt like fantasy, wait until we go underground, where glowing colors dance off ancient stone. Number 9. Reed Flute Cave, Guilin. Just when you think Guilin can't get more magical, you go underground. Beneath the quiet streets and limestone peaks lies a hidden world of color, light, and time itself. Reed Flute Cave. This 180-million-year-old limestone cave isn't just a geological marvel. It's a glowing fantasy land of stalactites and stalagmites, shaped over centuries and now brought to life with shimmering light shows. Locals call it the Palace of Natural Arts. As you walk through, you'll spot formations that look like dragons, waterfalls, forests, and even a miniature skyline, all sculpted by nature drop by drop. And here's a fun twist. The name comes from the reeds that grow outside, once used to make flutes. So yes, even the air above this cave sings. It's been a favorite of Chinese poets and painters for centuries, and it's easy to see why. The way the lights reflect in the crystal-clear pools, it's like stepping into a dream you didn't know you had, from silence and stalactites to a city that never sleeps. Next up, we're heading to China's most electric metropolis. Number 10. Hong Kong. Welcome to Hong Kong, a city that moves at the speed of light, but always finds time for tea. With its skyline of glass and steel, bustling street markets, and Cantonese cuisine that will ruin you for anything else, Hong Kong is where tradition and ultra-modern life crash together beautifully. Start with the iconic Victoria Harbor. Hop on the Star Ferry, ride between glittering skylines, and watch the famous Symphony of Lights dance across the water every night at 8 p.m. It's the world's largest permanent light and sound show. Now that's how you do a city intro. Feeling hungry? Good. Hong Kong is a street food paradise. Try dim sum, roast goose, or sweet egg tarts from a century-old bakery. Walk into a night market, and you'll be hit with sizzling aromas, sizzling walks, and that unforgettable scent of adventure. Want a view from the top? Ride the historic Peak Tram up to Victoria Peak. From there, the entire city unfolds below you. Boats in the harbor, lights in the distance, mountains on the horizon. It's breathtaking and humbling. What's wild about Hong Kong is that you can be at a Buddhist temple, inside a luxury mall, and on a remote hiking trail, all in one afternoon. It's fast-paced, flavorful, and full of surprises. Ready to trade neon lights for turquoise lakes and untouched forests? Let's journey into one of China's most magical valleys. Number 11. Zhouzhuigou Valley. Imagine a place where lakes glow turquoise, waterfalls tumble like silk ribbons, and forests burn gold in autumn. That's Jiuzhaigou Valley. Tucked deep within the Min Mountains of northern Sichuan, this UNESCO World Heritage Site feels like Mother Nature's secret garden. The name Jiuzhaigou means Valley of Nine Villages, and it's home to both breathtaking scenery and centuries-old Tibetan culture. But let's talk about the lakes. They're not just blue. They're crystal-clear pools in every shade of sapphire, jade, and emerald. Because of the valley's high calcium content and rich algae, the water creates surreal reflections. Sometimes it feels like you're looking into another world. Don't miss Five Flower Lake, where sunken trees lie like fossils beneath the glassy surface. Or Nuarilang Waterfall, once the widest waterfall in China. And the best part? Despite its dreamlike beauty, Zhouzhuang is still relatively remote and unspoiled. No skyscrapers, no traffic, just silence, color, and the kind of peace you didn't know you needed. When nature feels like a dream, why not chase the legend itself? Our next stop is the mythical land of peace and wild beauty. Number 12. Shangri-La, Yunnan. Welcome to Shangri-La. Not just a place, but a feeling. Here, you're not just visiting China. You're stepping into a dream. High in the mountains of northwest Yunnan, Tibetan culture, untouched wilderness, and sacred silence embrace you like an old soul. Once called Zhongdian, this peaceful town was renamed after the mythical paradise in the novel Lost Horizon. And honestly, it lives up to the legend. Start your journey at the breathtaking Ganden Sumtsaling Monastery, the largest Tibetan monastery in Yunnan. Golden roofs shimmer under sunlight as monks chant ancient prayers. It's a place that makes you whisper without knowing why. Nature lovers, this is your sanctuary. Head to Patatso National Park, where alpine meadows, crystal lakes, and snow-dusted peaks stretch farther than the eye can see. Keep an eye out for yaks, wild horses, and blue sheep wandering across your path. And after a long day of hiking or reflection, settle down in a wooden lodge, sip yak butter tea, and watch the stars pierce the cold night sky. You've breathed the mountain air. Now prepare to be humbled. What you're about to see is carved in stone and awe. Number 13. Buddha of Leshan. At the meeting point of 3 rivers in Sichuan, carved directly into a red cliff, sits a guardian so massive, his shoulders are wider than a tennis court. Meet the Leshan giant Buddha, the tallest stone Buddha in the world. Standing at 71 meters high, that's over 230 feet, this ancient sculpture has watched over the rivers for more than 1,200 years. It was built during the Tang dynasty with one goal: to calm the deadly currents that took so many lives at this treacherous river confluence. And oddly enough, it worked. Legend says the huge amount of stone debris that fell into the river during construction helped redirect the flow and tamed the waters. Whether divine or not, it's a marvel of engineering, devotion, and patience. It took nearly a century to complete. You can climb beside the statue using a narrow cliffside path, or view it from a boat, as it rises from the mist like something out of legend. Just beside it lies the Dafo Temple, home to more peaceful statues, silent monks, and the scent of incense drifting on the breeze. From giant guardians to tiny alleyways, let's travel back in time to a walled city where China's soul still whispers in every corner. Number 14. Pingyao. If you've ever wanted to step back in time, not just visit the past but walk through it, then Pingyao is where you need to be. This ancient town in Shanxi province is one of China's best-preserved walled cities, dating all the way back to the Ming and Qing dynasties. Forget skyscrapers, forget neon lights. Here you'll find cobblestone alleys, wooden houses, and city walls that once protected dynasties. Start your journey on the Pingyao Ancient City Wall. It stretches for nearly 6 kilometers, stands 12 meters high, and has 72 watchtowers, each one named after a Chinese military commander. It's not just architecture, it's storytelling, carved in stone. Inside the walls, every street feels like a movie set. Walk along Mingqing Street, once the busiest commercial hub of Imperial China. Now it's filled with antique shops, red lanterns, tea houses, and hidden courtyards. Pingyao was also the birthplace of China's banking system. Check out the Rishengchang Exchange, the country's first draft bank, founded in the 1820s. History fades into romance as we float toward our final destination, where love and lanterns drift quietly along moonlit canals. Number 15. Zhouzhuang. Imagine a place where time flows as gently as the water beneath its stone bridges. That place is Zhouzhuang, often called the Venice of the East. Located in Jiangsu province, not far from Shanghai or Suzhou, this town is more than 1,000 years old, and built entirely around a network of canals. Here, boats replace cars, bridges replace traffic lights, and silence is only broken by the splash of a wooden oar. There are over 60 stone bridges, each with its own story. The most famous, twin bridges, Xi'an and Yonggan, where reflections form a perfect circle in the water, like a painting come to life. Step inside the Shenting House, a sprawling 18th century mansion with over 100 rooms, secret courtyards, and a peaceful riverside view, or climb Milo Tower, once a gathering place for poets and scholars, and feel the romantic pull of a town lost in time. Zhouzhuang is especially magical at night, when the lanterns flicker on, and the whole town looks like something from a Tang Dynasty love poem. From emperors to pandas, mountains to markets, these 15 treasures are just the beginning. But if you had to pick just one, where would you go first? So, which of these places made it to your must-visit list? Was it the misty peaks, the ancient towns, or the glowing caves? Drop your favorite in the comments. We'd love to hear what caught your eye. And if this helped you plan your China trip, give it a like and share it with your travel buddy. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to check the link in the description for more travel tips and ideas.